Welcome back. Today we are coming at you with all of the model predictions for PFL Week 9. This card includes the semifinal bouts for the featherweight and welterweight divisions. As expected on a PFL card, we have a few early fights without the appropriate data to make predictions. So we will be starting off the card with Tyler Diamond versus Enrique Barzola. Enrique is the more experienced fighter here with nearly twice as many fights. He also has much more high-level experience with a UFC record of 6-3-1. So far this season, Tyler has scored 2 unanimous decision victories, while Enrique has lost both of his bouts by unanimous decision. Neither of these guys have finished a fight in several years. The bookmakers have set this fight quite close, with Barzola as a -145 favorite. Our model sees the odds exactly flipped, with Diamond at -115. With no KO TKO losses and only a single submission loss each, it's fair to assume that this is going to a decision. The model thinks that Tyler gets the nod from the judges this week. Next up, at 170 pounds, we have Eric Alequin fighting Luka Poclit. Eric has been away since January of 2023 when he suffered his first career loss to Thad Jean in his PFL debut. Luka is also trying to recover from a loss which snapped his 10-fight win streak just 2 months ago. Eric is a decision machine that has never been stopped, while Luka prefers to hunt for the neck, finishing 6 of his wins with chokes. The books have Poclit as a moderate -285 favorite, while the model gives Alequin a very slight edge. We are looking for Eric to summon his inner dominant cruise and fight to another decision victory. Closing out the prelims, we see Ray Cooper III facing off against Musaev Berkhamov. Cooper is 5'7" with a 70-inch reach, even smaller than some of the lightweights on this card. Despite that, he has still managed to miss weight several times in the past few years. He is 2-3 in his last 5, with the 2 most recent being at catchweights of 186 and 182 pounds. Berkhamov is 3-1 with 1 no contest in his last 5, but those fights date back 5 years. He was on a 12-fight win streak before running into Lorenz Larkin, who KO'd him in the first round. Musaev is a big favorite at the books, and the model also expects him to earn the win. Cooper does have KO power, so we're hoping that Berkhamov uses his length to avoid any big shots. Kicking off the main card is the first welterweight playoff fight between Shamil Musaev and Murad Ramazanov. This is a rematch from only 56 days ago that saw Shamil get a second-round TKO. During their first match, Ramazanov's takedowns were stuffed consistently, and he wasn't able to hold Musaev down on his only successful attempt. Shamil was far more accurate on the feet, but wasn't able to land any of his spinning ballerina techniques. The bookies and the model both think that Musaev is able to get it done again, and with Murad's wrestling shown to be ineffective, we are happy to have our money on the favorite. First up in the lightweight playoffs will be Gabriel Braga versus Tamir Khizriev. Tamir is currently 16-0 with 12 of his 16 wins coming by decision. Braga is 14-1 with 7 wins by KO TKO. His only loss was by TKO in November of last year. Gabriel has since rebounded from that loss, scoring 2 finishes earlier in this PFL season. At the books, Tamir is a sizable favorite, but the model believes that Braga will be able to get a win here. We know better than to bet against a Dagestani wrestler, but this one is out of our hands. Maybe Braga can pull off an incredible upset KO and make us some money. The second spot in the welterweight finals will either go to Magomed Umalatov or Nyman Gracie. Magomed is another undefeated Russian at 16-0. He does have 11 KO TKOs on his record, but in the past 2 years, he has only won by submission or decision. Gracie is coming in at 13-5 with 9 subs, but he hasn't scored a submission win in almost 4 years. The bookies have Umalatov as a massive -1,800 favorite, and the model likes him to win here as well. This is one of the rare situations where a Russian needs to keep the fight on the feet for an easy victory. I'm really hoping that he doesn't knock Gracie down and then dive into a submission. Battling for the final spot in the featherweight finals will be Brendan Loughnane and Kamaka III. Kai is the younger fighter here, and it makes sense that he has a bit less experience as well. He is currently on a 5-fight win and a 4-fight decision streak. Brendan is 4-1 in his last 5, none of which went to the scorecards. The bookmakers have Brendan as a sizable favorite, but the model disagrees. The model must prefer a decision-heavy win streak over the ability to finish the fight. Luckily for us, Kai hasn't been stopped in almost 4 years. That's all the fights for this card, so let's have a look at the numbers. In total, the model produced predictions for 7 fights. It chose 3 favorites and 4 underdogs. I don't know why it has been so underdog heavy in recent weeks, but it has been profitable. Our total risk is exactly 31 units, with more than half of that being on Umalatov. Our total possible profit is 13.15 units if everything hits, but if only Umalatov loses, we will be negative for the night. All of our big favorites have paid off recently, but there is a concern that these risks aren't worth it. I'm hoping to study this further in the near future. Once I've got some results, we will be sure to bring them to you. Thanks again for watching. We still have UFC Cannonier versus Barzola coming later this week, so go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss it.